I can only talk about the failures and the experiences I've gone through. I can't talk to you about things I haven't done, like making £1 million, like owning 7 different properties or having 10 different businesses or impacting millions of people. I haven't done any of that, but I'm on my way to achieving what I want to achieve. So one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about that I've specifically gone through and thought was quite important after some reflection was failure. I have started a few businesses that have failed along my journey of wanting to be financially free and own my own business. And what I realized was that all of the no's, not necessarily from people, but from ideas not working, the rejections and the downfalls, have taught me one thing, and that is to not chase after something just because it's working for someone else. So what do I mean by that? You may see so many people doing certain things, like owning a certain type of business, like selling on eBay, for example, or investing in Bitcoin, or trading on the stock market. You may see other people doing it and it works for them, but it may not be the right thing for you, because at the end of the day, how you're making your money, how, is important. There's no point making hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars if you're not enjoying it. What's the point? It's the same as you making £20,000 and being upset. The only difference being, you're going to be more comfortable when you're being upset. It's not going to make any difference. So think about how you're actually making that money. So specifically speaking, I started a number of businesses before on Amazon, on eBay. I had an iPhone app. And those things, while they may have worked for a very short period of time and made me small amounts of money, they never worked for the long term. And to be honest, I was never happy deep down. Deep inside me, I knew that this isn't something that I want to do for the long term. This is always going to be a conduit for me to go and do something else, which was traveling and speaking to amazing people every day. I always thought of that as something I would do afterwards, until I was put in a position last year where I realized, after speaking to a certain someone, I realized that, hang on, these ideas aren't going to work. They're simply not going to work. So I need to think about something else. And it got me through, it put me on a spiral of thinking about what I actually want and am I doing the right things to get there. And for me, it was the idea of conversations and spreading the wisdom of those who have been successful that I've always enjoyed doing from day one. And I did that on my Instagram page, by sharing other people's quotes and then making my own, and then now the podcast, which is what you guys are listening to now and watching on YouTube now. So for me, it was realizing, having gone through all of that, the reason I'm saying this is because having gone through all of those failures and being disheartened by the fact that I'm seeing other people win at these things. They're winning, they're making money. Like, I knew someone who was making $10, $15, $20,000 a month from Amazon. And there were people making the same amount of money from eBay. And so I was like, why isn't it working for me? Why? Just why? Like, I'm following the right steps. I'm getting mentorship from these people. But then I realized that's not the platform for me. I'm not supposed to thrive at those things. I can't chase after the money, because at the end of the day, the reason I was doing that. See, this is important. You need to understand the reason or the motivation behind you doing that certain thing. The reason I was doing that was because I wanted to make a lot of money, not because I was passionate or genuinely interested in it. It was a grind, but it was something that I thought was good at the time. And now I've realized that no, I was looking at the whole game in the wrong way. I can still build a life around what I'm doing now because there's other successful people who've done it, like Joel Brown, like Lewis Howes. So these individuals have built their success around the fact that they're sharing information or sharing on the platforms in the way that they feel passionate about. Take, for example, Jay Shetty, who's actually blowing up right now. His story of being a monk and sharing on social media in the way that he does, it's gone viral because he's doing what he loves and he's doing it in a way that's authentic to him. So don't try and chase after someone else's version of success. Chase your own version of success. Figure out what it is for you. I'm happier having these conversations and doing what I'm doing compared to someone who might be making 5 times the amount of money but owning maybe a car dealership or running a family business. I don't want to do that. I want to start my own. I want to be the first one to start something and be a pivot in my family, that when people look back they think he's the one that changed the course of where this lineage was going. So I don't know where the next generations are going to go, but I want to set it up and be an example to show that we don't have to go around in this cycle of just the rat race, working to survive. That's basically what's happening. Everyone's surviving, not thriving. And I see that across most people that I come into contact with these days, because everyone is out to try and survive until they get to the weekend. Just survive 5 days at a time. What's the point? So think about that after listening to this. What's your version of success? Figure that out for yourself and then chase that. Don't try and copy anyone else. And until next time, remember, you're only one decision away from becoming a legend.